Buenos dias, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again, and I'm telling you, I told you I didn't trust her. Rep Ilhan Omar, the Somali double agent, the woman who wears the hijab on the job. I told you. I don't trust somebody who does that. When you wear that hijab, that tells me that your religion is most important to you and not the job that you were hired to do. AKA my needs. So of course she's at it again. Somebody keeps letting that mouth go off. She said, I don't know, she was speaking in front of some group, I'm assuming mostly Muslim by the way she was talking. And she said that CARE was started after 9/11. Now, of course, a simple Google will tell you that it was started in 94, but whatever. I don't really give a shit whether that was an intentional lie or maybe she was just misinformed. Maybe somebody, told her that, hey, CARE started after 9/11. I don't know. Or maybe she said it to help make her point. Maybe she was using it to tell them that, until 9/11, everything was fine. But after 9/11, things were so bad that a group had to be started to protect our rights. But she said CARE was started after 9/11 because some people did something and we were being stripped of our rights. Basically, because, some people got together, did something stupid, but because of that, all of our rights as citizens are being stripped away in front of us. So CARE had to be started, who actually has ties to Hamas. So they're a piece of shit organization as well. But I don't remember any Muslim internment camps. I don't remember that. I don't remember any Muslim people being wrangled together and held captive until we figure this out. Now, we had just endured the greatest loss of human life on American soil ever. So forgive us as citizens if we were looking at you kind of sideways if you fit the profile of who just pulled off this mass murder. Now, if their rights were being taken or they were being harassed and shit because of their religion, that's not right. No decent person is for that. But this was the craziest shit that we as Americans have ever dealt with as far as a terrorist attack. I mean, we all remember where we were that morning. I mean, it was unreal. It's almost hard to put into words the surreal feeling of watching that shit happen on TV. Watching the planes crash into the towers and then watching the towers come down. The people covered in dust running through the streets. The huge clouds of dust and debris just rolling through the city. If you didn't experience it, it's hard to explain. But she described it as some people did something, and then we had our rights stripped. Her language was separatist. She was saying it like they're not one of us, like they weren't experiencing it along with us. Like they were detached from the rest of America. They were a separate group. And the one good thing that came from that was the feeling of togetherness that it gave us. There was a feeling in the air. It was like Christmas Eve. If you go out on Christmas or Christmas Eve, there's a feeling in the air. It was different. We were united. American flag bumper stickers were everywhere. There was a feeling of, man, fuck them, amongst us all. It felt good. I miss that feeling. It's sad that it took something so tragic to bring that feeling, but it was a good feeling, and I wish we could get it back. But for her to describe that massive loss of life, one of the worst things we've ever dealt with as a fucking country, as some people did something. Then, this bitch has the nerve to double down on Twitter. She posts a quote from George Bush saying, "The people who knock down those buildings will hear us soon." Meaning, we're coming to get you, and yes, we are going to fuck you up when we get there. She posted that and says, was George Bush downplaying the terrorist attack? Bitch, are you serious? At least he acknowledged that someone knocked the buildings down. He didn't say some people did something, so they're going to hear from us soon. You completely downplayed it because you don't have that connection. It didn't hit you the same way. I don't even know if you were even here when 9/11 happened. But even if you were, that makes it even worse. That you were here and still able to detach yourself from the situation and view it as an outsider. When all this shit you're talking about, oh, I'm an American, I care about America's, I care about what America wants and Americans. Bitch, shut the fuck up. No, you don't. And the problem with the people who elected her is that they probably won't kick her out. She'll probably get reelected because she comes from little Somalia, fucking Mogadishu 2.0 in Minnesota. Every legal immigrant to this country is not a shining example. Every legal immigrant to this country does not get our admiration. And there's a difference between being a refugee and becoming an American citizen. Because they come here and then turn whatever part of our country they come to into where they just came from. Now, there have been groups in the past, the Italians, the Irish, and other groups that have come here from their country. And yeah, you got little Italy, you got little this, and you got little that, but there's also a little bit of America in there too. They embrace the American culture, they embrace the American belief system and the American way of life. They don't come here and try to replicate the shithole they just came from. Of course, it's great to keep that connection to the old world, to the old country, but this is your new country. So you need to put a little bit of that in there too. Show some respect and show some love to the country that embraced you, the country that took you from some of the worst abject poverty and violence on earth and gave you this, America. That's the part people don't like. When you come here, you become an American also. You adopt the way we do things. But she had the fucking nerve. Don't compare yourself to George Bush. He had his faults. He was a globalist turd too. But he did care about Americans as well. And what he was saying was completely different from what you were fucking saying. But just so look at the clip, the way she talks. We, our. I thought you were one of us. And of course, the liberals, the mainstream mediocres, they cannot let a good opportunity to pull that race card go unused. So that ugly bitch, Rashida Tlaib, whatever the fuck her name is, another new, hot, sexy, young, diverse, colored member of the freshman congressional class, or whatever the fuck. She got up there and said that this is a blatant show of racism. They're always going after women of color. Stop with the of color. This is not racial. This has nothing to do with race. I thought Muslims or Islam was a religion. I didn't know it was a race. My bad. But she's saying they're going after her because she's a woman. Bitch, shut up. They can't let a good opportunity to pull racism. They can't let it go by. They couldn't sleep at night. And then you got Rocco Cortez. Her stupid ass had to sound off too because somebody posted a picture on the cover of, I think it was New York Times. It was a picture of the plane crashing into one of the towers and a big fireball. And it was like, well, is this what you meant? Is this what some people did? Is this what you were talking about, Omar? She said this, in this climate, this is a call for violence. No one's going to do anything to her because they saw a cover of a fucking newspaper. If somebody's crazy enough to do something because of what somebody said, they're going to do it anyway. They don't need to get the green light from the New York Times, you dumb bitch. But what more do we need to hear from Omar? She's made anti-Semitic comments in the past. She's aligned herself with anti-American groups. And now she's shitting on 9/11? saying it was just something that somebody did? No. When your parents let you use their car and you get a scratch in it, that's something that somebody did. I remember one time when I was a kid, I was doing something. Me and my brother were supposed to be stacking wood. We broke a window somehow. That's something that somebody did. Not cutting the throats of pilots, taking over the plane and crashing it into a fucking building, 3 buildings, and killing almost 3,000 people. That's not, oops, I did it again. That's a fucking terror attack. That's a mass murder. So why didn't you address it as such? Because you don't give a shit. Because you're not an American citizen. You may be on paper, but you're not in your heart. You're a fucking double agent. I told you. That bitch don't care about nothing about America. She's here to enact the leg of her plan to destroy America from the inside, and we let them. We fucking let them. We let her city, her town, wherever she's from, be flooded with a bunch of refugees from where she's from to vote her into office and give her power. We let that shit happen. But let's sit here, get comfortable, because you know she's going to say some fucked up shit again. Maybe eventually, the Democrat, and I use this term lightly, leadership will actually condemn her. Will actually condemn her comments. Not bullshit and dance around and, oh, well, we need to make this new general legislation about no hate speech. No, you tell that bitch, Ilhan Omar, shut your fucking mouth. The city you represent, your district, is #1 in terrorist recruitment in America. Why don't you fix that before you start saying stupid shit about one of the worst things to ever happen on American soil? Now that I'm all pumped up, let me take my spot in this fucking rat race. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow your boy on the Twitters @Green_Jericho. Utilize the PayPal link. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.